Hey y'all, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This video, we are talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 10, episode 5. I think it was titled Nail to the No. Before we get into it, please don't hesitate to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure y'all are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you share the video where you like to share your content. And comment down below. Let me know what you think of the episode and the season so far. This episode didn't give too much to me. I thought last week was better. Next week's previews look good though. Because Marcel said he don't care about Martel's mental health. I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna get into it. Anyway, let's get the review done. I'm not gonna go in any particular order. I'm just gonna talk about the episode. All right. I do apologize. Video is late. Y'all know I told y'all my last review, the Ready to Love one. Go watch that after you watch all of this. I'll let y'all know I was outside literally all day and all night Saturday. So here we go. We catching up. And Sunday, I barely could get Ready to Love done. Okay. So I think the episode starts out with, thank God it was not a to be continued, first of all. But it started off with Miss Nell went to go visit Lance because, Lance is a single father and he's raising that new baby. Now I'm assuming, or I'm not sure, so y'all let me know in the comments. Is he raising all of his kids or just the new baby by himself? So he was saying it's a lot, take care of the baby want to be up under him. I was like, where's the mom at? What happened to that baby's mom? If y'all know in the comments what happened to the baby's mom, let me know. Why doesn't Lance have his baby full time? That's not that he can't have the baby full time, but I'm like, that's not typical for especially a newborn. So he said it's a lot, and then plus work, he's tired. He gotta be up with the baby 3-4 in the morning. She teething, he gotta do this, he gotta do that. And I was like, single moms do it all the time. Like, kudos to him for taking care of his kid, but I mean, at the same time, yeah, single moms go through exactly what you're talking about, Lance. Yeah. It is a lot dealing with a baby. It is a lot. He said having to change her so many times and, do all this stuff. And so Miss Nell brought over some snacks and stuff. And she was like, oh, you want me to, take her a couple nights, like 2 nights on, 2 nights off, something like that. He was like, no, because he doesn't want to take her out of her environment, which is a good idea. So Ms. Nell said, okay, well, I'll come down to your house and spend the night then. And so Lance was like, that's cool and all, but you need to talk to Dad about it because, he didn't seem cool with all that before, like when we was in the house. Because, Lance had stayed in the house with them, I guess, when the baby was first born. I guess to get help from his parents. And so he was like, because he ain't gonna want his wife out the house like that. And so she was like, we've been through worse stuff than this. This is nothing. Like, we've been married 30 plus years. Like, he could survive 2 nights in the house without me. Girl, that's not what it is, though. No, that's very nice of her to offer herself to Lance in that way, though. But yeah. While we on Lance, let's just wrap it up. So, and Lance got a confessional. I said, look at Lance getting that whole confessional. So, later on, we do see Lance go talk to Chris. Well, Chris came to talk to Lance, I should say. And Lance has, his construction business. Kudos to him for that. So, Lance was saying how, his mom wanted to come stay a couple nights with the baby to help with the baby. Chris was like, no, like we set boundaries with y'all last season. Y'all keep habitually stepping over those boundaries. The only one who's not doing it is Kayla. What about Lexi, the oldest daughter? His daughter. We don't hear about her. Anyway, and he was like, but she can get this smoke too. He tired of y'all not listening to him when they try to set these boundaries. And he did express that, they have taken a toll on, the Fletcher's lifestyle and everything they want to do. And it kind of took a toll on him with him being in the house with the baby. I guess Chris must have been in the house with his baby as well. So Chris felt it sounds like it could have drove a little wedge in their marriage, is what I'm gathering, or maybe put a little strain on their relationship. So Chris Fletcher is like, no, we ain't having that. But Lance is like, forget them boundaries. Like, it's family. Like, what's family for? To call on family when I'm in need. So he said, forget the we ain't doing the boundaries anymore. We're over it. So Chris is like, if we keep coming to your rescue, you never gonna figure it out. You never gonna get together. And my thing is, again, like, good for Lance. He's taking care of his responsibilities, but everything he's going through, to me, sounds like what single moms go through every day. I'm not a single parent. I don't have kids, obviously, but to me, from what I hear from y'all single mamas out there, kudos to y'all. It sounds like Lance just going through what y'all be going through, and I don't want to say he doesn't deserve the credit, but single moms don't get the credit they deserve. So that's all I'm saying. But it sounds like Chris in the end gonna help him out. Maybe he'll let Nell, stay over there. I don't know. But my thing is, Chris Fletcher is not Lance's dad. But Nell, Nell had Lance before she got with Chris. So I feel like that could play a part into it as well. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about all that. All right, moving on. Another little short story we can wrap up. So Jalen went and talked to Kimmy in her office, and she said she's on the phone with Destiny. Destiny playing about buying an office. Jalen was like, "Bye, Destiny." So Jalen came to tell her his news. And I thought he was going to tell her that he was moving to Colorado, but that's not what he came to say. And Kimmy said that he hardly ever comes to visit her office, so she knows that he has something important to say. So he said that he got a new job offer in Huntsville, and it's a pretty lucrative one. So it sounds like pays more than the one in Colorado. So he's going to stay in Huntsville. Good for him. I mean, I did want to see him branch off, go out of state, and spread his wings, but you got to go where the money resides. So if the money reside in Huntsville, stay in Huntsville, reside in Huntsville. I'm not mad at it. Good for Jalen. Congratulations to him. He's doing his own thing. So him and Kimmy started talking about the family business, and Kimmy said, me and you could do something, and Maurice Jr. could do something. I said, I know that's right. Separate the two. So Jalen said this job in Huntsville also is more into what he wanted to do, and the Colorado one wasn't really exactly what he wanted to do. He wants to do more the business side of things, and so in IT, I guess, and so or in tech. And he was talking about when he went to the interview, and they actually were impressed with his resume, with all the stuff he did at Black and building a business from the ground up and all the business management side of it. So Kimmy's like, all the long, hard days at Black paid off, so which is good. I mean, another one for Marceau, not Maurice. No shade. And so he said that they called him pretty much shortly after the interview, and offered him a position, offered him a number that was pretty good. He negotiated a little higher, and he got what he wanted. Go ahead on, Jalen. We not mad at it. Hey, Jalen. Okay, hey. Anyway, so I don't know how old Jalen is. I'm playing, y'all. So Jalen then talks to Kimmy about the talk he had with Marceau and Maurice about him. Basically, Maurice treating him like the stepchild that he was, or he is. And he felt like Maurice didn't get it. And he felt like he was kind of deflecting. And, he told him, you're basically a mentor to me. Like, I get the tough love thing, but you were more just like a mentor to me, not really a father figure. And he's like, but I don't know what a father figure is supposed to feel like. Maybe that's what it was. And so Kimmy was like, I've had these talks with him, Marceau has, and now you have, and he just doesn't get it. Now, I did watch Maurice on Carlos King's Monday Night Live with Claudia Jordan and Dustin Ross, and they had to kind of work a decent apology out of him, but he finally got there. So hopefully Maurice does better in the future. Kimmy said in her confessional that the tough love and everything from Maurice did pay off, but yeah, things could have been better in the past, currently, and moving forward. And yeah, so the issue is that's great. And, yeah, Jalen became successful. He's like, yeah, it's good. He taught me to figure it out on my own. Yeah, he's like, he helped me become a man. And which that is part of what a father is supposed to do. So yeah, it worked, I guess you could say, in that regard, but I think he missed whatever loving aspect he felt that Maurice Jr. was getting that he didn't get. But I feel like Maurice don't really be giving all that to Maurice Jr. either. So Jalen, you probably wasn't missing what you think you was missing, but I'm not telling him how he should feel because Maurice don't really be doing the most for Maurice Jr. either. So, but I get what he's saying. He felt like, Maurice Jr. wasn't made to do the same things that he was made to do. And they both are these young men in the house together. So that makes sense. But again, he's significantly older than Maurice Jr. too. So I don't know. It's just hard. Hopefully Maurice can move forward and make things a little better in their relationship. Moving on. Speaking of Kimmy, we've seen Kimmy, Destiny, and Letitia all meet up to go shopping. Letitia wanted some retail therapy. They were talking about the whole meetup with Miss Nell, and Destiny's talking about the whole Lance thing and how Kimmy called her out for making googly eyes at Nell's vow renewal, how she was making googly eyes at somebody else, and how Miss Nell said that what did she say about Destiny? Oh, she didn't know that Lance. I'm sorry. She said she didn't know that Lance was having a baby. I was gonna say pregnant. She didn't know that Lance was having a baby until LA. And so Destiny feels like Lance, could have gave her more of a heads up. Now, let me backtrack. When Lance and Miss Nell were talking, and Miss Nell said that Destiny called her, like, saying, you should have called me, you should have told me, you could have told me. And Lance was like, she doing the most. And did she say anyway that we were just keeping it casual, keeping it cute, we were just friends? Like, so, like, why is she tripping now? And they played the receipts on the reunion when they was in LA, as they like to say. And Destiny did kind of downplay their situation. She did say that she didn't want anything serious. So I'm like, Destiny girl, you ain't that mad over Lance. Like, Destiny and Lance is not that deep to me. They are not that deep. And Destiny talking about if she sees somebody with and she like them, she gonna date them. She don't care. and Ms. Nell said she looking upside the head of her godson too. So maybe Destiny running through the family. I don't know. She said she's single. So I feel like Destiny, you giving too much energy to Lance and this baby thing. Like the Moses Sonny thing made sense to, but we got tired of that. But this Lance thing, girl, please move along. Please move around, Destiny. Anyway, so Destiny was and Kimmy was like kind of laughing to get on each other about what happened at the wedding, at the vow renewal, and how Kimmy called her out, and Kimmy was like, you should have said it like the way you say it now is the way you should have said it 6 months ago, girl. Bye. So somehow Destiny brings up Martell, and Letitia said that's her cue to go walk around, honey. They were like, okay, this is how it's always gonna be. So Destiny's like, I find myself in the middle once again, but I'm my own person. I'm not trying to be in the middle. I'm gonna hold Martell accountable when he comes to me with foolishness, which is pretty often, girl, we see. And so she said she can't negate the fact that she would not have met those two ladies if it wasn't for Martell, which is true. So I don't know. Like, why is she still friends with Martell though? I mean, he hasn't done anything to her personally, so his character sucks, but yeah. And then okay, so Disney said something about like she not gonna tell what he got going on over there, and she not gonna report to him what they got going on over here. But then she proceeds to tell them that he said he gonna move Arion into the investment house and all that. So I was like, well, girl, you telling his business right here. Anyway, Kimmy was saying their friendship has all come a long way and all that, which it has. Because I remember when Kimmy and Destiny was getting into it over that chicken man that Destiny didn't since divorced. Anyway, I think that was pretty. Oh, and then they were talking about how Miss Nell said they not being transparent and talking about that whole podcast thing. And Kimmy was explaining how Letitia reacted to that and all that. Also, we seen Miss Nell meet up with Trisha, and they discussed the birthday party. Miss Nell had a good time, and Miss Nell is just tired of the way Tisha be, acting. She be calling her Letitia Scott. She don't ever just say Tisha. She say Letitia Scott. I was like, damn, you gonna use her full name every time. So Miss Nell's not feeling her. She said it started back at her birthday party last season, which we do remember when Tisha was drunk and she got into it with Nell at that party. I remember that. So Ms. Nell's like, I can't deal with her the way she is, and Letitia was like, y'all need to just have a heart to heart, come to Jesus, talk about it. All right, girl. So then I think we've pretty much covered everything. If I missed something, let me know in the comments. But we get to the end. So the last scene we get is when we see Letitia and Nell meeting up to try to hash out their differences. Right now, I know we did not see Martell in this episode, which we did miss him. I believe we did not see Maurice or Marcel in this episode as well. No, we didn't. Mm-mm. So, also Linnell, she didn't like how Tisha got in Chris Fletcher's face. So that's what she brought up to Tisha when they went up down to the coffee shop. Tisha's hair is so pretty in that scene. So pretty. Anyway. So, Miss Nell telling her, like, yeah, girl, you got up all in Chris Fletcher's face. And Tisha didn't remember that. I was like, yeah, girl, because you have been drinking. Side note, y'all, if I sound weird, it's because I have a toothache and I've been needing to get to the dentist, and I need oral surgery. It's a lot. Anyway, if I ever sound weird on camera, that is the reason why. It's because of my dental things I need to get done. Anyway, hopefully I can get that taken care of this week. Anywho, so Mr. Nell was telling Tisha, girl, you was all up in my husband's face. I wasn't here for that. Tisha didn't remember it. Like, again, I said she was too, on that liquor. She was like, okay, I remember that, but if I did, okay, girl, sorry, okay, girl. Tisha didn't know Miss Nell was coming and getting to it as she got into it right then. But she said she didn't like the way she was talking to her. And she said, Marcel, did let it be known that they had already addressed it and all that. And so Tisha was like, okay, Miss Nell need to talk about the stuff that's going on in her house, before she want to throw a glass stone and whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, Tisha, girl, you do it too much, man. Like, I like when Tisha get activated, but sometimes she be, you gotta give and take a little bit, Tisha. You gotta give a little, you gotta give a little, take a little. Come on now. So, somehow Tisha's like, we need to start at the beginning of what Marcel said and what Chris said, and something about, y'all remember when Marcel said he was in Atlanta with a friend, and then the friend ended up being Chris Fletcher, and they replayed that scene, and I looked at Marcel as he told the story, and he looked like he was lying. But I wonder, did he do that on purpose to continue to troll us, to make us think that you are cheating on your wife, even though everybody already thinks and assumes that anyway? But there's no hard evidence of it, so I don't know. But I do remember when, they were sitting in the car acting like they was about to break up or something, and Tisha was asking him about the whole Atlanta trip, and he said he was with Chris Fletcher. And so Nell's irritated, like, girl, why are you bringing up Atlanta? That was hella long ago. And so Nell's like, yeah, he brought me some fish from the Atlanta fish market or something like that. And so she was like, whatever Marcel did after, like, girl, that's on you. And so to me, the argument became more about what Chris said and Marcel said. And I'm like, well, why are y'all arguing about what y'all husbands did and said? Like, what's the issue between y'all two? Because really, it's a non-factor. It's a non-issue. I don't really want to see the casket divided, because Ms. Nell was saying she's cool with Kimmy and Trisha and Destiny, but not Letitia. And I just don't want to see that type of thing. Like, Carlos, you going to go talk to your cast again like you did before. So I want to see the vibe between, Trisha and Nell versus the old, the original cast. I don't want to see none of that. Like, Tisha and Nell, I need both of y'all to get together. Really. But anyway, next week looks like it might be interesting. I guess it's gonna be the Scouts against the Fletchers, child. I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.